Here today, my sister Beck and brother Jason here to, I guess, do some formal proceedings in terms of our cultural protocols here on country. And really for us today to open, I guess, acknowledge the hard work and what we've put into this place, all of our spirit, our knowledge as well as First Peoples. And I'd just like to acknowledge everyone here today and all the community that's here, and acknowledge your, I guess, ancestors and your elders, your past, present, and emerging elders, and all of us today that are here that are a part of this community here in Central Victoria. Now we have people obviously from other areas, and really for us it's really important as Judge Wurrung that we honour our ancestors, and in Wodonga Koori, really around, I guess, their spirit, but also acknowledging our protocols of welcoming you here. So not only just welcome you here, a lot of you people live here on country, but acknowledging that you have come from another area, someone else's country, and that you are here, and that you are now in Jara country. And we honour that, and we respect that, and for us, moving forward. So today, obviously with the county court opening and the discussions that have already had in this place, is leading, I guess, our future generations, and leading, I guess, those talks to have them in a really culturally safe space, but also to make ourselves as a community accountable. So when we do something wrong and we break law, L-A-W, or we break L-O-R-E, we are all accountable. And this place is a really, I guess, safe space to be able to talk about that and to be able to make all of us accountable. And we do that. And we do that through, I guess, all of the respected people, elders and community that sit on these courts, representing their own families, their own mob, as traditional owners from wherever they come from. But also to sit together and to nurture those people that are here that probably need to be brought back into our protocols, that need to be respected, but they need to be also shown that to move forward, they need to be put back on the right path, to be accepted in this community. And for Judge Wurrung, we hold that really, really personal to us, to our heart, to make sure that we hold people accountable that break law in our country. And it's something that, I guess, for a long period of time, we didn't get to do that. We actually lost that connection in terms of bringing that solid L-O-R-E back onto our country, and people were able to do whatever they wanted to our people as First Nations people, but also to each other. And that's not right. That's where we have to break that circle, that cycle, and repair that healing on country for our old people, but for all of us. Not just Aboriginal people, but everyone. We're all family here today, and we're all family that we need to look after each other. So, really honoured to be here. Would love to hand over to Sister Beck in terms of our board and our Yapanyam ceremony as part of our cultural being here today.
Good morning, everyone. What a great day to see this. I wanted to see it wet. Let's start with a smoking ceremony or yapanya, so that we are kicking off this important day on the right foot. I'm going to invite everyone up here to walk through the smoke and see if my daughter joins me in this ceremony first time. I'm sure everyone here has been through a smoking ceremony before. We're going to ask the elders to come through first, and then everyone else to follow. Are you playing while we do this? Okay. Yes. So, are you going to play clap sticks for us? No? Okay. Let's see. the Jara elders and community elders come forward, please?
That's a no. I'm looking on the animal.
Come forward.
some of this ditch. It's another thing, and what does it drive? Makes your lips go. Nice old sand.
Hey, we get everybody. Thank you, everybody. We're going through a Yapanya ceremony. It means a lot to us as Jara. The reason why we do this is really to bring us together and connect us for today. And obviously we're going to go and move inside now. But really for us, it's about connecting and bringing us all together before we go inside and bring any of that bad energy into this building. So, Becky, you want to say anything?
Yeah. Firstly, thank you all for joining in this ceremony, going through the smoke. I'd like to acknowledge where we're standing and the artwork and the storytelling done here by Anne Marilyn Nichols and myself. And of course acknowledging Bunjil up there by Raquel Buisker, another Jara woman. It's so important and so inspiring, refreshing to have our creator being watching over us, watching over Bendigo. And Bunjil translates into wisdom, and everything that you do in here, we hope is based on wisdom and the nurturing of our stories, our history, our deep connection. The Yarum that is along here, which is this chain of ponds, is also mimicking the serpent. The serpent of Jara is the enforcer of Bunjil's law. So we have the offering of Bunjil's law, and these are to do no harm to yourself, to do no harm to others, and to only take from country what you need. Very basic, very beautiful laws. The world would be in a better place if we all followed them. Those laws and the enforcement of Jara law is what we are standing on here. The creation of these animals, the elders sitting around the pond teaching of the constellations, our weaving of the water and the woven story at the end, and the nothingness at the start. This is important that we see and understand this story. We're going to be walking past it a lot, and to carry the essence of those stories in what you do. So I wish you all the best in the work, the important work that you carry out, and I hope that the smoking ceremony has helped ground that in not just today but the future and looking after those future generations. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and thank you, Jason, for playing Yiddicky.
And I think now everyone's going inside. I think we've lost our Terry.
Yeah, everybody's got to line up.
Yeah, we've got to go through security, so it might take a little while. But you've got, another Yapanya up there as well.
Yeah.
Good morning all, and welcome to the launch of the Bendigo County Koori Court. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Terry Stewart. I'm a proud Tanarong woman and I coordinate the County Koori Court. I'd like to begin by acknowledging the Wurrung people as the traditional owners of the lands that we meet on today, and I pay my respects to their elders past and present. I extend that respect to all other elders and Aboriginal people here today and to those who have joined us online. In Victoria, Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander communities continue to strengthen and grow with ongoing practice of language, law and cultural knowledge. As a community, we must recognise the contributions of Aboriginal peoples and communities to Victorian life and how this continues to enrich our society and more broadly. I acknowledge the generations of Aboriginal leaders who have fought tirelessly for the rights of our people and communities. These people are our Koori Court elders and respected persons who continue to play an important role and hold a prominent place in our communities and families. I'd like to especially acknowledge Uncle Mark Little, Uncle Wally Harrison and Peter Hudson, who have all just recently been appointed as elders and respected persons on the Bendigo County Koori Court. We welcome you all to our team, our County Koori Court team. The County Koori Court has now been in operation in Victoria for 15 years. The first County Koori Court began sitting in Latrobe Valley in 2008. Since then, we've expanded the Koori Court to sit in Melbourne, Mildura, Shepparton, Warrnambool, Geelong and Wodonga. Expanding the County Koori Court to Bendigo is an important next step in making this beneficial sentencing process available to all Aboriginal offenders. I'm very excited to be here to launch this court with you all today. Thank you. I'd now like to introduce the Wurrung dance group who are going to do a dance performance for us. Thank you, guys. Please join me again in congratulating them. They were wonderful. Thank you. I'd now like to invite Judge Scott Johns, our judge in charge of the County Koori Court, to say a few words. Thank you.
Thanks, Terry. Might need to lift that up a little bit.
Calling all parties in the matter of your Callahan siblings to courtroom 1.
For that.
Callahan siblings.
Good to see we're in a busy court. I'll also commence by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land we're meeting on today, the Wurrung people, and I pay my respects to elders past and present, and extend that respect to all other First Nations people present here today and those attending online, watching remotely. Thank you to Trent and Rebecca for such a wonderful welcome to country and smoking ceremony, and thank you to the Wurrung dance group for their performance. Respect for Aboriginal culture and ceremony is central to the operation of the County Koori Court. and the sentencing conversation that lies at the heart of the process. At the commencement of every sentencing conversation in the County Koori Court, the person before the court is told that the courtroom has been smoked or cleansed by a local elder and the significance of that. And they're told that this is a court that respects Aboriginal culture. So it's only appropriate that we start today with ceremony. I'd also like to especially acknowledge the Bendigo County Court elders and respected persons, Uncle Wally Harrison, Uncle Mark Little and Peter Hudson. On behalf of the County Court, I thank you for your commitment to and enthusiasm for the Koori Court. Obviously, the court can't operate without its elders and respected persons and the knowledge of Aboriginal culture, history, community and family connections you bring to the conversation. I want to also acknowledge all of our other County Court elders, some of whom may be watching online today, and all of the community leaders, members of community and organisations and in government that are here today. I can't mention you all by name, but it's central to the partnership we have between the judiciary and the Aboriginal community so that the court can exist, the Koori Court can exist. Our Chief Judge, Peter Kidd, and Deputy Chief Judge, Meryl Sexton, are both strong supporters of the County Koori Court and its expansion to the Bendigo region. Due to multiple commitments, they were unable to be here in person today, but send their support and congratulations to the Bendigo region for this event. We often talk or speak about in the County Koori Court of the partnership between the court, the judges and staff, and the Koori community, which at the first point is through our elders and respected persons, which we've got, I think, over 40 now in the County Court, and our other stakeholders and participants, of course, and those stakeholders and participants are represented here today. It's a genuine partnership, and it's a partnership that's dearly valued by the County Court. And it's, as I say, it's a partnership that is central, obviously, to the operation of the County Koori Court. So thank you all. Before I go further, I must also thank especially Terry Stewart, our Koori Court Manager and Coordinator, for her hard work in the planning and implementation of this launch and all the lead-up work. A lot goes into it, all of the engagement and trips to Bendigo and engagement with the community. And so including thanking Terry, the hard work of Kylie as well, and other members of the team. It takes a lot for all this to come together, and Terry leads the way, as she does right across the County Koori Court operations, but she does it together with our communications, with the Specialist Courts Unit, and it's a real team effort. There is a bit of an in-joke in the County Koori Court and amongst the unit that I get a lot of credit for things I've had nothing or very little to do with, and that's certainly the case with this launch. So it's all down to the hard work and commitment of Terry, and I acknowledge that. Many of you here are very familiar with the operation of Koori Courts, some won't be, and of course being new to the Bendigo region, I just want to say a few things about the County Koori Court. As many of you here know, Koori Courts were first established in Victoria in 2002 as an initiative of the inaugural Victorian Aboriginal Justice Agreement, and Koori Courts are a key part of the response to recommendations of the Royal Commission regarding access to justice and removal of many of the barriers and systemic disadvantages of the past. So one of the stated purposes of the County Koori Court is to ensure greater participation of the Aboriginal community in the sentencing process. Importantly, it's a community-led development, as I say, in partnership with the court. And so inclusion and consultation with the Victorian Aboriginal community are central to the operation of the court and to its continued development and evolution. The Koori Court process differs from a plea hearing in the general list. The person before the court pleads guilty and consents to the matter being heard in the Koori Court as a sentencing conversation. And the process that unfolds provides a unique opportunity for participants to show that they are accountable for the offending, to show remorse, to talk about what factors in their life contributed to the offending, and to explore options directed at rehabilitation. The process can be very challenging for the participant, and it's acknowledged that participation is more burdensome than appearing at a generalist plea hearing. It's a very powerful and effective process. It gives a voice to the person before the court and to the community through the participation of elders and respected persons who share their wisdom and rich lived experience in the process. Victims of crime are able to attend and participate in the process as well as friends, family, rehabilitative caseworkers and other support persons. For the presiding judge, they are far better informed through the sentencing process than they would otherwise be without the sentencing conversation and what emerges from it. They are far better informed as to the person that they are dealing with, that person's family and community, and some of the factors that might have brought them to the court. I'm grateful to have had the privilege of witnessing many sentencing conversations over the past 5 years, and I'm always impressed by the engagement of the person before the court with the elders, and this is a great credit to the elders involved, but also to the process. It has real restorative power, not only for the person to be sentenced, but often for victims who participate and their families. I'm far from alone amongst judges who have observed that there is a lot to learn from the sentencing conversation that could be implemented in other areas of the criminal courts. The sentencing conversation works, and for that fact, the entire Victorian community is better off. It's enshrined in legislation in this state, and the court has expanded in recent years to Warrnambool, Geelong, Wodonga and now Bendigo, which is the 8th region the County Koori Court sits in. The court represents far more than a modified, more inclusive and culturally safe process. Participation in the Koori Court for eligible participants involves the exercise of an important cultural right, a recognised and fundamental human right of First Nations peoples. Judges who sit in the County Koori Court, and there are many of them who are trained and eligible to sit in the County Koori Court, and I welcome all my judicial colleagues here today, and in particular Judge Blair, who will be sitting in the first County Koori Court matter in the Bendigo region on Monday. Judges in our court are committed to facilitating this important cultural right in partnership with our elders and respected persons and the wider Koori community. And on behalf of the court, I can say that we're delighted to be working together to facilitate that right here on Judge Wurrung country in Bendigo. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. I now call upon Uncle Wally Harrison, who's going to say a few words for us.
Not too many, true. Good morning, everybody. My name's Wally Harrison, or Walter Harrison, one of 10 children to Eric and Ollie Harrison. Both my parents were born on missions, Lake Tyres for Dad, Cumragunja for Mum. County Koori Court, what does it mean? What does it mean for Aboriginal people that come up and come to court? I just wanted to take us back to Christmas time when we opened this court, and our CEO of Jojo Corporation, Rodney Carter, got up and spoke in front of the Premier and everybody about how do Aboriginal people feel when they come to court. And it's one of the hardest things they'll ever do in life, is they're impacted by coming to court. There's feelings of shame, disconnection, but they're facing their elders. So it's a hard thing, and I want to acknowledge that it is hard for them to come to our court and to be judged and have that conversation around the table. My background is that I've worked in family violence for 20 years, and I've worked with Aboriginal men that use violence and holding them accountable to it. So I was first interested in sitting in the courts, and I came on board in 2015. So I've been sitting for a few years now. Started off with Children's Court, moved on to Magistrates Court, and now I sit mainly with the County Court. And it's a very, very big privilege to be able to sit with a team that's really supportive in Terry, Kylie, and not just there's the registrars as well, Barnaby and the court staff as well. They all support us around that table. I want to also acknowledge Trent Nelson for his and Jace for your past for the smoking ceremony out the front. And what Trent said, his words out there was about accountability for us when we at court. When we have that conversation around the table about accountability, it's about knowing who that person is we're talking to. Accountability for us is law, and law, as Trent said, but it's about giving that understanding to the judges, to the magistrate, and all those court staff that are there to help that person, that Aboriginal person that's before us. An example might be that that person's from Queensland and they're at a Koori Court. But the terminology in Queensland's Murray. So that person's now working now. There's other nations, there's Noongar's from Western Australia, Nunga's from South Australia. There's all those sort of things we have to navigate those conversations around that conversation about accountability, Trent. And I think it's important that that's what we want for what the offence was. But how do we unpack it at the table in a safe way? I find the conversation is beneficial for them. It's also beneficial for us. Yeah, I'm looking forward to going forward to Bendigo and being involved with it. Being a First Nations people from here, being part of it, I think we have an accountability role to play in that, and I look forward to it. And I think that's about it for me. Terry, thank you.
I'm now going to ask Uncle Mark Liddell to come up and say a few words as well. Thank you.
Well, Bendigo, I've had to scribble down some notes this morning because I'm not as articulate as Uncle Wally is. But I did want to say a particular thank you to Terry, Kylie, Judge Johns and other court staff for the training they're giving us. For Peter and I, this Monday will be our first sitting as elders in the County Koori Court. And I hope I'm pretty sure they've prepared us well, that we won't embarrass ourselves, we won't embarrass our community, and we won't embarrass the County Koori Court. So thank you for that, all that assistance we've been given. As an Aboriginal man who spent most of my life on Wurrung country, I'm honoured to be here in Bendigo for this launch of the County Court. As Uncle Wally said, courts are really intimidating for most people, and they're especially intimidating for Aboriginal people. But with the establishment of the court here, our community members that are coming before the court no longer have to travel to Melbourne or elsewhere. And if you look about you, this court is about as culturally safe for Aboriginal people venue as any court could possibly be. Those that have had a chance to look in the courtroom, the artwork, the artefacts, the possum skins are absolutely awesome. And just how deadly's Bunjil up here overlooking us makes my spine tingle. And I only noticed while we were outside the smoking ceremony this morning, I'd looked at the paving and thought that's great. And then I noticed the emu footprints, and it just occurred to me, emu's one of the few birds that can only move forward and can't move backwards. And I think with the County Koori Court, the Koori Court, and other services that are coming in place through organisations like BDAC and JARA, that we are moving forward. We're not going to take a backward step, and I'm pleased to be part of that, and I'm pretty sure Aboriginal people here are equally as committed to that. It's well documented that Aboriginal people excuse me, are overrepresented in the justice system for a number of reasons, which most of us are probably aware of. But the County Koori Court, so I did a little bit of research, has got a proven record of being able to better engage with the accused person, and particularly the role of the elders in motivating that individual to utilise the supports and services that are out there to bring about some positive change in their lives. And I think the evaluation that was done a few years ago showed that there's a significant effect in reducing recidivism, which is bloody terrific. So I think as County Court elders and respected people, Peter and Uncle Wally probably agree with me that the establishment of this court in Bendigo means, I know we feel privileged to serve our community, and we can serve our community in a way that's meaningful, and the way we can do that is through the County Court. So thank you.
Thank you, Uncle Mark. That now concludes the formal part of our launch. I'd like to thank you all for joining us today. I'd also like to thank Trent Nelson for his warm welcome to country, Rebecca, or Beck, for your traditional smoking ceremony, and Jason Kerr on the ditch. Thank you very much. And of course, last but not least, the deadly Wurrung dance group. I'm not quite sure whether they're still here, but yeah, thank you so much. I'd also like to take this opportunity to thank Kylie for all her hard work in helping us prepare for this launch, and a special mention to Russell Adcock. I'm not quite sure whether he's here today, for his support and guidance in this region. And of course, all of you who are here today. We look forward to working with you moving forward, and hope to see you, at our County Koori Court hearing. So, yes, thank you so much. Please join us for refreshments. We've got lots of sandwiches, and thank you.